Good morning, folks. I'm Stan, WB2LQF. Today I'd like to share with you my newest acquisition. It's called the SL85, and it's been designed and it's being produced by a fellow named Tom, KN4YB in Largo, Florida. It's a right-angled key, and it's a beauty. Look at the size of it, for one thing. Fits in the palm of my hand. And yet it's got enough heft, so when it's on my desk and I'm operating, it ain't going anyplace. It's a right angle instrument. The construction is just elegantly simple. Nothing fancy about it. There's no magnetic contacts or anything. There's also really no spring unless you want to consider this as a spring. Okay. See these 5 holes here? Those are your tension adjustments. Least tension is where I've got it right now. Maximum tension is in this far hole. And you got your choice in here. There's also a hole over here, a bigger one. Looks like it might be a 1/4 It's a threaded hole, and that's for a hold down bolt, should you desire to have one. It's all brass. You got your DID adjustment up here, your DA adjustment here, and locking hardware at the top. It's a bearing key. He uses an F685 on top, 685 on the bottom. Got these beautiful blue finger pieces. They really look attractive. And as I said, the key is just elegantly simple, and I'm having a ball operating it, let me tell you. If we turn it over, we get a little surprise. Look at this. Nice little shorting bar. Short it over here. Now we got a more than adequate sideswiper. Move it over here so it falls on top of an insulator, and you're back to paddle mode. It's all pre-wired with a 3/8" stereo plug. Got 4 nice soft rubber feet. And in addition to that, Tom supplies you with all the wrenches you need to make any adjustments or repairs. And I can't imagine ever having to repair something this simple and this well built. It's an absolutely gorgeous piece of machinery, yet elegantly simple at the same time. I'm sorry for repeating myself, but elegantly simple is the thought that immediately comes to mind every time I look at this thing. I really, really enjoy it. It makes a nice companion to my my DL150, which I've reviewed in another one of my videos. A real nice pair here. With these, I've got everything I need. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is bring it into the other room, hook it up, and give you a little demonstration of it, okay? But first, I would like to just mention the fact that I first met Tom, KN4YB, way back in January of 2018. In fact, it was New Year's Day. Met him on 7042. I was running 10 watts from my Elecraft K2, and we exchanged fairly decent signal reports there. Found out that he lived in Largo, Florida, and he was sending really good code. I asked him what he was using. He told me that he had built the key. So one thing led to another, and next thing I know, I'm talking to him on the telephone, and I ordered one of his earlier bugs. I was extremely pleased with the way that key operated, and that's how I have come to be, for the last couple of years, a regular customer of Tom's. He has a website. I think you can get to it if you go to QRZ.com, and I believe there's a link there on his QRZ page. He also sells on eBay, and he sells direct, and he takes PayPal. So I just thought that I would throw that in case anyone who's looking at this video has an interest and would like to investigate this further. Okay, let me sign off here for a moment and go connect this thing up in the other room, and we'll see how it works out in real life. Okay, folks? Okay, we are set up for a paddle on the keyer, and underneath we've got the shorting bar unshorted, so it's sitting on its little rubber insulator. I have the tension adjustment set all the way to the left, which means least tension, which is the way I personally prefer it. And the spacing on my dit and my dog contact are both 6/1000ths of an inch. That's the way I like my paddle set up. Okay? So, let's see. Sounds pretty good to me. I make less mistakes on a single lever paddle than I do with a standard iambic paddle because I don't do iambic keying. All right. You basically have only half the number of chances of screwing up when you got a single lever paddle. So this $25 kit from the Arizona Scorpions about 15 years ago has now been replaced by my new KN4YB SL85 paddle, which I am extremely pleased with. Okay, now we'll try it out as a sideswiper. I haven't changed any settings anywhere on top and on the bottom. I've simply moved the shorting bar over to short out contacts. And my keyer is set for straight key. Okay, so let's see how she sounds. As compared to a real sideswiper. The big difference is that the traditional sideswiper, it has over travel, hence the reason for the popularity of hacksaw blades. This does not have over travel, it's a solid arm. However, so is the HST built by Begalley, which has a little switch on it, which is also accomplished by the shorting bar on this key. And quite honestly, I sort of like the shorter throw and the lack of any over travel. It doesn't bother me at all. Okay, so that was the sideswiper. And I'm not the greatest sideswiper sender, but I enjoy that as a mode too. While we're still in straight key mode on the keyer, why don't we just turn this over like so, and we got us an emergency straight key if we want. Or I guess some people like to do it this way too. As compared to my little $25 key, I think it's called a KK1B from the late Marshall M. So far, we got a sideswiper, we got a straight key, and we got a paddle out of this. Let's try one more little thing. We'll put the keyer in bug emulation mode. And now guess what? Without touching anything else on this SL85, we got us kind of a bug. How do you like that, huh?